Hi there! Welcome back to Jordan commentates over race footage to explain why he didn't win this time, but still did a pretty good job nonetheless. Part 2. Today's episode brings us to New Jersey, which is certainly a state, and by being here I prove to all of you that I do in fact know more than one track. I came into this weekend 2 weeks after my traumatizing wreck at Summit. And having spent the previous night at a punk rock show in Philadelphia, I should have guessed that this weekend would be cursed. But it's qualifying time, baby, and we're not going to get worried about what's coming. We're going to worry about what's going on right now. And qualifying is going on right now. And sadly, I accidentally went out in the back of the pack. But you know what? More exciting footage for this video, so have fun. Now, as I come around the track on my outlap, I want you to notice something that will kind of set the tone for the rest of this weekend. Pay real close attention to this immaculate line through turn 7. As you can see, I butchered it, and what you will find is that I butcher it quite frequently, and so do a lot of other people. So we'll just go ahead and say that it's the track's fault, and not me being incompetent. Nonetheless, I was catching the cars in front, which is always a great sign in qualifying. And if you've been around this channel long enough, you know that I like racing. So we make quick work of the yellow cars. We charge forward on our mission to get pole position. Here I would like to show off turn 7 that I actually didn't get horribly wrong, as the number 70 car recovers from what I can guess was a spin. And I want to point out here my closing speed on this car in front of me, because I didn't really realize it at the time, but I was actually having a great qualifying session. And, well, I catch up to this guy pretty quickly and, you know, do the same thing, pass him over the hill. We're on the move, we're winning the race that is happening in qualifying. Not really, but you'll see. By the same point in the next lap, I was already caught up to this other guy here. I don't know what number's there, man. But you might be surprised to see that I do in fact pass him over the hill at the exact same spot that I've passed every other person in the session. Things are looking good. Things are really shaping up here. And now that we're through all the traffic, it's time to put the hammer down, set a time, and a little bit up the track we have Deacon Greenfield cruising along. He's moving and grooving just like me. We both know that there's something special cooking in the air, and that something special is a top 15 in qualifying. You know why? There were only 15 people there, but 15th is 15th, and we're gonna get it. As we approach and come over the hill, our lap time is pretty much the same as the lap before, but that's okay because the lap before was kind of a banger too. But we're charging on towards the dreaded turn 7, but I'm happy to report that I actually got through it pretty well, as you can see by the green little lights there on my aim. Things are looking good, but we kind of caught Deacon at the wrong time, because going into the light bulb is a little bit spooky if you have someone right in front of you, because it's difficult to know when to put the power down. I put it down a little early and kind of go off track, but thankfully I have Deacon's beautiful toe to rescue me and save this lap, because this lap is something special, I can tell you that right now. Something special it was indeed, as I crossed the line with a 120.8, which ended up putting me like 4th place, so I was almost a second faster than 5th, as Deacon takes a little trip into the shadow realm.
You'll always be with me, and you'll always be my brother.
But this is my YouTube channel, so we're not going to worry about Deacon and his trip to the shadow realm. We're worried about that great lap I just set, and you know what? Things are looking up, and nothing could possibly go wrong. So I bet you're wondering, probably at this point, why this video is commentary and not a meme review like I usually do for these. Well, this race is why. Because things indeed did go wrong. My race suit, transponder, and all my gear got locked into a trailer, and the owner of the trailer had left the track. Luckily he returned, but only in time for me to get out in the back of the pack and start in the pit lane. So my best qualifying position suddenly became last place. And I think it would be wise of me to apologize now to anyone who's watching that was in this race, because I was quite angry, and I wasn't mad at you. I was mad at the world. I'll probably apologize individually to some of you, but I know you watch these videos, so I'm sorry in advance for my actions. I was upset. I wasn't mad at you. As I begin my quest to catch the field, I perform the hardest visor slam in history. I'm pissed, but we're cruising and we're gonna win. Maybe. I have a bit of ground to cover, but you know, anger is on my side, and anger is the best motivator, or something like that. But you can see evidence of this angry driving by just how aggressively I take turn 1 here. Dipping 2 wheels off in the grass. I'm not really worried about the safety of myself or my car, which is always a good way to do a race. Driving like a maniac did pay dividends because I caught the pack pretty fast, and I immediately got to work setting up some tasty little overtakes like this absolute dive bomb way too far back. This would be really stupid to actually attempt ever again, but thankfully it worked out here, so no one crashed, and I managed to hold on to both positions as I continued my anger tour around the track. And as we continue the tour, I seal up a little bit of a sneaky inside dive bomb kind of thingy-majiggy here on the yellow car going into turn 2. This was one I needed to get out of the way quick, because 2 and 3 were like the hot spots for me on the track. I was moving pretty good through there, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't have anybody in front of me for those. Which brings us neatly to our favorite overtaking spot from qualifying. Get a nice run over the hill, beat them on down to 7, and then we're up another spot. And I think at this point I was starting to calm down a little bit, which I think helped, but you may find in a few short seconds that calmness doesn't last very long. And literally 100 yards down the track, Exhibit A of this calmness not lasting is me being an absolute psychopath trying to pass on the outside of the light bulb, which was never going to work. I don't even know why I tried, but it slows me down a little. The red mist is slowly creeping back into my brain, but I get the overtake into 1, so it worked out. Just a little bit more angry than I was 30 seconds prior. And now for the moment where the race truly unravels and my tensions truly boil over. We have Chip here. He's a front runner. He qualified in 2nd. He fell back. I think he spun or something. So now I was next to him. And while being around fast drivers usually is a good thing, Chip is very aggressive, and he didn't want to hang around with me too long. And apparently he caught me asleep because he just walked right in the door on turn 1. I didn't even bother to block it or anything, because I wasn't really expecting him to try to pass me. I thought we would be friends and work together. But you know what? As we approach turn 7, or we're not really approaching turn 7, but you know what I mean? I want to double apologize for what you're about to witness. Miranda, I wasn't mad at you. I was mad at the world. You didn't do anything wrong, really, but you just happened to be in my crosshairs, so sorry for this. Charge down the straight, and me, being the clever little guy I am, I think maybe following Chip would be my new plan, but Miranda kind of closed the door, and there it is. There's the middle finger. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't see it during the race, but yeah, here it is now. I was angry. And I think the rest of this race is kind of a good cautionary tale for measuring your tempers when you're driving on the track, because I was much quicker this weekend than I was this race, but I was just driving way too hard. My tires were overheated, and I was just making so many mistakes, just driving like an absolute fucking toss bag. So if you're pissed, just breathe, calm it down, and maybe you won't suck. At this point in the race, I clearly had a pace advantage over Miranda in front of me, but I was just being way too impatient. And after several attempts, I finally got past her, and then immediately overcooked it into turn 1, and having the craziest Dukes of Hazzard moment I've ever had. Got a little air, and actually snapped the radiator mount in my car. But somehow I didn't even lose a position, so I take it as a win. And after surviving that journey into the grass, I had to do a nice little horrible line through turn 7 just for old time's sake. And by midway through the next lap, I was right on the bumper of Russ, and it was where the most heartbreaking moment of this entire race happens. Knowing that this is the final lap, I'm confronted with a little big brain moral conniption here. Do I accept 8th place and just push Russ and accept his draft through the final turn? Do I pass Russ and hope that someone pushes me? Well, I obviously did the second thing, because we go big, we don't go home. Yeah. I didn't get pushed. Miranda, perhaps sensing that I gave her the middle finger earlier in the race, pushed Russ instead, leaving me in a measly 9th after starting last. And you know what? I think I learned a valuable lesson, and that is to A, not leave my items away from my car, and B, angry race equals bad race. And as I drive in my cooldown lap, I reflect on the possible damage that I might have done to my car and the overall bad vibes that radiated from me this race. But as I throw the steering wheel to the side and climb out of my car, I kind of put this one behind me and just accept the killer footage that I got from it. Thank you for joining me in this public therapy session. I hope you guys liked watching it. I got 2 more races from this weekend, so got another video coming about it. And thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I'm very close to hitting partners, so if you could just watch my videos, that'd be killer. And we've got the Sebring Meme review coming up soon, sure that'll be a good time. But yeah, see ya.